Hey, welcome back, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. CR, Richard, Queen. All right, Queen, I know you say you're going to take a nap or you're going to take a break or something, but something tells me you were in this short. Hmm. All right, I need to get rid of this limit order. It's delivered much more than I thought it would, and it never came back. So that's fine. Hey, Vivian, Milad. Getting closer in the macro, so I'll just shift this. Yep. And we'll drop down to the 5 minute here. And we'll get rid of the short tool. But just for kicks, let's see how far did it deliver. Okay, it gave 50 points. Wow, nice. At 1301. Okay, right here. Got it. Yeah, the setup I had showed just before lunch for 30 points was TP'd out here at 1235. So some of them hopefully some of them had exited their trade already, but if not, then they were able to catch an even deeper push down here at 101 off the 3 minute breaker, waiting for price to close 10 in the morning. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what it is about not wanting to take a loss, a full loss on your evaluation account. And so you always move your stop loss, and then you always get some abbreviated version of a victory, whether it's a, you know, 10, 15 point when you could have got 30, or it's a break even and then price goes to TP. So it's, we all fight those same issues and we have the same problems. It's tough. It's it's all I can say is it's tough. Exactly. Just set it and forget it. I'll say my biggest trades are ones that I set and I walk away, come back 3 hours later. Malad, do I remember correctly? Did you get in somewhere around 185 to 190, or did you get in at the top around 193? That's fun. Yeah, 186. Okay. Yeah, I thought I remembered that correctly. Well, you're still able to get quite a bit out of that trade, so that's a good thing. Banana theory, that's probably true. Our brains being wired to make things difficult. Yeah, I wonder if we get started trading too early. Like when we're still in the learning phase of learning setups and learning how price delivers and learning how the candles print, we immediately want that gratification of winning a trade. So we start trading really, really early in our journey. And not necessarily that we develop bad habits, but you just remember taking so many losses, or you remember being in so many trades where something happened that you didn't expect and just came out of nowhere. And so you always have that fear that something that you're not aware of right now is going to happen and it's going to ruin your trade. They trade again into the 138. Hey, Shalor, what's up? Yep. Nice. Yeah, the setup I was going to take over here was also in demo. I had a nice trade. I caught the long on the way up, and so I didn't want to touch my Topstep account, and I wanted to try this one out on demo just because I was talking about it, and I know that some of the viewers are looking for me to actually show the trade in motion. I don't know why they don't just take the trade themselves, but they want me to show it in motion. So I was going to take it in demo, but it never came back. There was these two entries right here. And when I decided, okay, I'm going to take the entry, it was on this candle. And then this candle printed, and then this candle printed, and it never really came back up. So that's what happened. But I like how this one was a breaker that's set up. I know it was on like the 1 and the 3 minute here. And then it had on the 5 minute, we found two fair value gaps in here for a unicorn setup. So we're still early in our session. Let's jump over and check out the other indices and make sure that they are doing exactly as we expect. All right, so the dollar did find support during lunch, pushed much higher back into this little small bearish fair value gap. So we'll see if that holds. It has rejected price twice since it was created during the 10 o'clock hour. It rejected at 11, it rejected at 12, and now it's being retested once again. I'll make it larger so you can see it. All right, so it's right here at 105.550. So now, so we see the dollar in limbo and not sure if it's going to go higher or lower. I mean, it does look relatively bullish still bullish. Let me measure this up. This most recent price leg, including the gap, right? So we got a 70% retracement and then immediately bought back up into premium with a strong candle actually during lunch. So if anything, we might see a push down to this level and then back up. So I would say the dollar's still bullish. But then so are we on indices. Indices also. Short term, 5 minute. I know we flipped bearish just recently, just before lunch on Nasdaq. So it's very similar to the dollar. You have support below and a 1 hour fair value gap. You got resistance above and a 1 hour fair value gap. So it's stuck in the middle as well. We have S&P in the middle. We have Nasdaq in the middle. We have the dollar in the middle. Only one not having that same sort of phenomenon is the Dow. The Dow does not have the resistance above. And I saw this just before lunch where it looked like it was pushing for yesterday's high, whereas we can see on S&P it's not close. Nasdaq is a little closer, but it didn't get nearly as close as the Dow did. I mean, we can see the Dow even now, even in the first 20 minutes of this hour, it's still trading towards the premium range of the hour and also the premium range if you look at the previous 2 hour candles. So it'll be something that we still need to monitor, at least during this hour, maybe at 2 o'clock or so. We may get the indices to sync up again and then have that inverse relationship with the dollar. But for right now, it looks like there's too much 50% that I'm looking at, whether it can go either direction, and that doesn't make me comfortable. Yep. Yeah, I hear you, Queen. As much as I tell myself that I'm only going to do one thing, um, there are moments where I do something else. Like, for instance, if the 5 minute breaker is taking too long to form and it's been 3 or 4 hours, then I may look for some other type of OTE setup or something else. And usually it's not working in my favor. Or there'll be a breaker setup, but it won't be as clean as I like it. And then it works. And then I'm either late to the party to where I got a bad entry, or I don't get it at all. And I watch it run away for 80 points and I wasn't a part of it. Yeah, I do find now there are times when the dollar will not align fully with the indices, and sometimes you're in a trade and it still does what you need it to do, even though it didn't align with the dollar. But for the most part, yeah, the dollar is used to support what I'm doing on the indices. Yep. Oh, yeah, Tehran, you're right. It did get up here and touch that bearish fair value gap the last couple of hours. And we had the same thing on S&P. And then if you look at the dollar, we have the inverse where it hit for the last couple of hours. It was hitting into a bullish fair value gap. What's up, Shark? Welcome. Mm, good advice, Banana Theory. Right. Let's see if this will turn into a breaker for us. I'll leave it back until we get a push below and a closure below this 151. $46. Okay, Milana. Okay, I see exactly what you're talking about now. That big 1 minute candle at 1301. The one you were talking about. That pushed down to deliver the TP for you. All right, so we need two things to happen here. One, we're looking for displacement and a closure below the breaker here. But the second thing is the reason why we need the displacement is because we want the fair value gap. We want the unicorn setup. Here. Doesn't happen in your account. Oh, nice, Vivian. Sweet. March and January. Yeah, Hamza, the last time that happened was March 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st. So we had those 4 consecutives that made the most recent all-time high, and then started to sell off from there. All right, look like we've already touched the breaker. For anyone who wanted the aggressive entry, we're right at the lip here, right at the edge. Or maybe it got 1 tick away. Maybe it hasn't actually gotten in there. Yep. All right, we got 1 more minute, then we'll be looking at potentially a unicorn setup. Tehran, yes. So unicorn setup is, so hopefully you understand what a breaker is. The reason why every time you see the blue box on my screen is a breaker. So a breaker is defined by a high to a low, to a higher high, to a lower low. And this last position, the lower low, has to be a closure. When it goes above the higher high, it doesn't have to be a closure. It could be a wick. It could wick up, but we need a body closure below. And then this failed movement down, or the retracement, becomes the breaker. Now, a unicorn setup is just a breaker with a fair value gap inside. So that would be right here. So we have a breaker, and then on its way out, confirming, it left behind a fair value gap. So that's what we'd be looking for there. In fact, the market execution. Just in case that's all we get. Yeah. The scariest part for me when taking these setups here, where it's kind of like in the middle of uh, the retracement, is that this area up here can still be traded into. And so sometimes what I'll do is I'll wait until this area gets traded back to first and then wait for it to trade back down, close below the breaker a second time, and then enter. The only problem is that doesn't always happen. Sometimes it runs away from you, so you're not in the trade. So you kind of get stuck in between a rock and a hard place here. And in that case, I prefer to just take the entry, get a short TP, exit my trade, and then if it retraces all the way back, then that's fine. I don't need to be in that one. And then when it comes back down, I can get back in a second time. But I try to secure something on this first move down if it moves down. I'm assuming that it will. Yeah, we're also at a pivotal time period. It's at 1:30, which a lot of times at 1:30 you can see a lot of reversals. In this case, we could see a reversal where price starts to buy up again, and that would be detrimental to the trade I just entered. Yeah, I'm going to hope that all of this balanced price right here, all the back and forth, provides protection from this area above the price that doesn't need to trade up there. Still bullish on dollar. All three indices still bearish, even though they all had this same little pullback right here of the last three candles, so the last 10 to 15 minutes. Let's see. Lower portion of the 5-minute bullish fair value gap. You're looking for a push down any minute now. We have about 6 minutes before the macro starts. Okay, one more thing we need to do. Sorry, forgot about that. So I have our lunch low here. Then we have a bullish Dow again. Go ahead and measure up the lunchtime range, just so we know what we're dealing with. All right, so we just got a 61.8% retracement here from the lunchtime range. High at 1220, the low at 120. So we're definitely in premium of the price range. So let's hope we get a push downwards from here. All right, Derek. Appreciate it. Drop down to the 1 minute as we enter the macro period, just about 30 seconds. Yeah, well, I entered the trade, so I'm gonna hold it here. I mean, it's in demo, so I'm not like I'm losing anything if the idea doesn't work, but the idea does fit the strategy. So I want to watch it and see how it develops. But yeah, Queen, just before lunch, we did flip the market. We did have a market structure shift on the 5 minutes. So yeah, I feel good about it. It's just, if it doesn't work, it's one of those where even when you have the strategy you like and the setup is there, you still at best going to be 70, maybe 80%. And that's saying a lot if you're 80%, but at best, you're probably going to be somewhere around 70%. So if it doesn't work out, no harm, no foul. I'm not going to feel like the strategy doesn't work. Yeah, no, the lunch high does make me a little nervous, especially because the lunch high is just below the breaker that was used during lunch. That was hoping to see a deeper retracement, but it only barely touched into the breaker and then it ran off for 50 points or so. So that is one concern I have, because I did point out that it could still trade back up into this area because it hasn't since it traded lower. Um, I would have thought it would have done that during this breaker. It would have traded back up, but it didn't. And so now we have the lunchtime high, and it's a couple points, 2 or 3 points. So it could take out the lunch high, tap into this area, hit the fair value gap, and then retrace back down. That's definitely a possibility. We're bullish right now. So far, we're showing bullish for all indices, including and the dollar as well. So we're bullish on everything at the current moment. And okay, so the Dow took out yesterday's high. S&P, I would be surprised if S&P did the same unless it just went on a run for an hour or so. It's going to take a while to get up there. And same for Nasdaq. Yesterday's high, we need to get up to 266. So you'd be talking about another 100 points just to get to where the Dow is right now. Yeah, but we'll see. taking the stairs up. When are we going to hit the elevator to take it down? The trade outside of the breaker. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely not looking good here. We got final minute of the hour here. All right, new high. So it swept the 1 o'clock high. All right, looks like maybe there's going to be some energy injected back into the market. So we'll see what that means for us. Oh, I forgot all about our medium impact 101 news announcement. That was the big candle that pushed lower. It's not looking good now. Yeah, for anyone who took this same setup, I hope your stop loss was much lower than where mine is currently placed. I hope you're not still in. Not looking good for the bulls. Save a few dollars here. It comes back and take out this high. It was going to hit me anyway. Yep. Yep. Surprisingly, the dollar for like the last 10 or 15 minutes of the hour didn't move. I didn't look at the lower time frame, but every time I kept looking at the hour candle, it looked the exact same. Yep. Didn't move much at all. All right. We still have a bullish Dow at the moment. So not only did it take out yesterday's high, but it's also traded above last hour's high. Yeah, I did, Skylar. Yep. Yeah, I know, Queen. That's why you just you laugh at it. It's just like, okay. That's why after I have a winning trade, I sit on my hands. Not really, unless there's a area above it that's not balanced, then it can break through the balanced area to get to the unbalanced area. And we still have, let's see. Mm, all right, so that was a retracement. So yeah, maybe we are in a sell model here on the 5 minute. Yeah, well, maybe it will. We'll see. Yep. I may take another demo trade this afternoon, but I don't think I'll take one in my Topstep account. Mm-hmm. Legion, those are the setups I take. Mm. J Stores, no, I didn't take that one. I funny because I had one that was very similar to the one just before lunch where it didn't tap in, and then it ran to the profit that I had already on the screen. So I canceled the limit order, and overnight, I think around midnight or so, 1 o'clock in the morning, it came back, would have tapped me in, and it ran to TP once again before finally just the bottom falling out. It was a long setup. So I could have had one last night, but since I wasn't going to be there to watch it, I decided to cancel the limit order. But the original entry I tried to get, it was somewhere around, I feel like it was 6:30, 6:45. It was around there because right after the market reopened at 1800, I saw the setup, and so I tried to get in, and it didn't tap me in. This is a 1 minute here. Let's see if it sells off. Okay. Oh, forgot about my video here. But sorry about that, everyone. Well, no lower low with the candle body. So we still had the protected high, which is essentially the high of the morning. Look at that level, 18,242. Right? This is what I feared earlier. Right? This would have been a breaker for a continuation, but not the breaker that actually reverses price. And that's why I like these much better. You're very close to where the apex was and where the turnaround was. Therefore, if it trades back into the breaker and trades above, you're more able to absorb this loss without getting out of the trade. You can stay in the trade even if it gets up here, based on the range of the breaker. Getting in down here, knowing that price could go as high as 242. Um, yeah, that was the reason why I was not as confident in that previous setup as I was in this one before lunch. All right, lunch high taken. Now let's see what price wants to do. It took the lunch high and it tapped the breaker just maybe by one tick possibly. Yeah. I call it invalidated only if price runs the high. Like in this case, for a bearish breaker, only if price runs the high. Um, that was the manipulation or the fake out. So because what can happen is you'll see price do this a lot of times. Right? It'll come from here to here. It'll trade higher. It'll trade lower, and then it'll trade back here. Then it'll trade here, and then here, and then here. So you got to account for this move anywhere in here. So a lot of times what I need to do is to take this area from this low to this high. And this consequent encroachment right here is something you want to pay attention to. So if you want to be on the safe side, you wait for this to get hit first. And then when it trades back down, then you take the breaker entry. And the shorter you can get this range, the more confident I feel in trades. Because you don't have to worry about so much range. Here, if you're entering the breaker at 193, but it can possibly go up to 242, that's 50 handles there. Now you would like to get at least a 1-to-1, so you'd be looking at a 50 handle TP, but still, who wants a 50 handle stop loss? Legion, I do the same. Put the stop loss directly above the breaker. But you do need to take into account that it can break below there. So when you're doing your back test, and just look and see how often price does that, because it does it quite often. Well, it'll break down, and that's probably how a lot of people lose in breaker trades, and some may lose confidence in it. Even though the breakers, I mean, when I found it and saw people trading it and start back testing, I was like, man, this is it. But there's nothing that's easy and fail proof. You do need to take into account that that price leg there, and that's why the best setups really are the ones that when it's setting up the breaker and it breaks above, it only gives you a wick and it comes right back in. Then it breaks below, it closes to confirm the breaker, and all you have is this small wick above. So then you don't really have to worry about it. It's these that's a full price leg above that makes you worry. Yeah, I'm checking the 5 minute, looking to see if we got a market maker sell model here. That's really what I'm watching for. And it's not that we guarantee to have one, but it damn sure looks like one. Especially if price wants to take the lunch low. And I don't see any reason why we don't end up down here at the 8:30 open. Mm-hmm. See what we got here. Just over 2 years, ICT. Basically, the beginning of 2022 when he did the YouTube mentorship. Yep. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep. You're right, Queen. That order block, which yeah, if you're following the market maker model, then yeah, you would have expected a retracement after sweeping this low. Similar, I would have expected one here as well. And this would be terminus on the market maker model, but we'll see. 20 points, Milad. All right. It should be 49. Should be 49, I believe, Justice. Hey, what's up, Ray? Oh, okay. Keep this price for the lifetime of the trading compound. Awesome. Any targets above, Bob? I mean, I know the Dow is running away. It's not even close. In fact, I'll bounce over and show everybody what's happening here. Right, we can see for S&P and Nasdaq, still basically in similar positions it's been in for the last couple of hours, hanging below where we were just before lunch. But if you look at the Dow over here, this was last hour. It blasted through, trading above, clearing the high from the previous day, and then look at it now. We're finally getting some sort of bearish activity from the dollar. First time this afternoon. I mentioned earlier that there was a slim bearish fair value gap that we had seen price reject from 3 times as we were starting the last hour. It also rejected last hour. And so far this hour, we also got a rejection. So big push higher. However, candle bodies are below. But yeah, Dow was way out in front. Yep. Anyone looking for a Topstep account, if you're willing to use their platform, I use TradingView, but if you're willing to use their platform, which is Topstep X, they are running a promotion that says they'll keep promotional price for the duration of your combine. And the 50,000 account is $19. The 100,000 is $69, and the 150 is $119. But you have to use this code at checkout. So it's basically $30 off of any of the normal combine prices. Yep. Mississippi here. Yep. Yep. Oh, that's right. The limit is 10. You can get up to 10 of them. Okay, a combine account is for anyone trading prop firms. So it's a prop firm. If you're not familiar with prop firms, it's yeah, it's companies that allow you to trade and they pay you based on the results of your account, but you have to pass a combine or a test to prove you can trade. And so that's how people are able to earn money without having their own brokerage account. Mhm. Mhm. Oh man, that's tough, J Stores. All right. Still price didn't want to come up and tap into the breaker here. Maybe it touched the city just barely. Let's see. Okay, I did type in twice because we have the midnight open right at the edge of the city. So they share the same value, just a couple, maybe 1 point above the breaker. Giorgio, welcome. $160,000. Oh wow. Okay. Dakota, that's the guy who trades in the afternoon, right? Here's the apex. Yeah, the typical trade setup is the unicorn setup. So it's the breaker with a fair value gap. Yeah, TJ, that was a demo trade. Yeah, you know what? I might try it just for that lockout button. Mhm. Yeah, I think I just might do it. I mean, I'm already with Topstep, but I might move over to Topstep X and get off of TradingView. Yep. Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. Topstep has they have their own YouTube channel. Still holding bullish at the moment. Flip this and move it to here. That's the one we want to pay attention to. All right, everyone. We have the macro coming in about 5 minutes. I'm gonna just run and grab something to drink quickly, and I definitely will be back before the macro starts. Macro starts at 2:50. See where we are. Another thing, we have power hour coming in about 12 minutes. All right, Queen, take care. Hopefully you're still here. right, let me get down to the 1 minute. All right, we have equal highs up here, roughly up here at the midnight open. Let's see if it breaks below 18,171. Got a feeling if it wants to remain bullish, it may not do that. Oh, no indicators. Oh, shit. That's going to be tough. It doesn't matter, Bob. I'm uh, done trading for the day. So whatever happens, happens. I understand you're bullish, and that's great. I'm not anything at the moment. No boundaries. Okay. End of the school year. Well, right now it's consolidating. Before that, we had a small bullish run right here. So maybe it's going to consolidate and have a continuation. Who knows? But we do have equal highs up at midnight open, so I would expect that to be taken at least. And over the next 20 minutes, that would make sense for price to do that. Yeah, I couldn't remember why I drew that line. All right, we're starting to get some retracement from the Dow from reaching its high of the day. Yep, power hour definitely looking promising. We'll see. We'll see what we get. Got 2 more minutes before we get there. So let's see how this hour closes. Take a look over at the hourly candle as well as the other indices and just make sure we have some level of alignment. All right, final 30 seconds of the hour. All right, opening range of 3 o'clock. Welcome to Power Hour, everyone. All right, remember I said I like to take entries out of breakers for 30 points. I believe this one has delivered it again. 192 or 190, yeah, 192 and 3/4. Yep, about 36, 37 points so far. Low of the day. Let's see, what is the low? Oh, 18,080. Mm-hmm. And we can, but we definitely will need to get a move on it. Like it won't be able to just play around and wait until 345. Right, but I'm looking around and we have another small-ish day like we had yesterday. If you look at the daily candle, it's not that. Right. It wouldn't impress you. That's for sure. Let me see the high and the low. 242. The low is 072. So 170 points. 4 hour is just consolidation. When you look at the 4 hour, it's you've had 2 days of basically staying around in the same range. Question is, did we get a tap back into the breaker? Is that what happened? No way. There's no way this can be a 1 minute breaker. Sorry. Okay. It's interesting. Let's see how that develops then. Millard captured 20. Good job. Yeah, could have had this here. This could have been your unicorn. Mm-hmm. 50%. All right, let's take a look at that and see. It got that the last candle. So that's 161.5. $154. Okay, you're looking for consequent encroachment of the breaker. Okay. Yeah, so these are the breakers that I like. The ones that form at the bottom when there is a reversal. Right? It's also a lot easier to see because you can see that last push down before price turned around. And so yeah, it's pretty easy to spot those. And in fact, if you're anticipating it as price is pushing lower, right, you're already looking for those things. I wasn't looking for it, and that's why I didn't see it. But because if I was looking for it, really, somebody would have taken this entry right here at 143. Right, so it traded above, closed above, traded back in at 143, and took off, and that's what created the fair value gap. Right, and that's at 143, and then we have a re-entry here at 3 on the dot. So it's about an hour and 15 minutes that it sat there. And whoever took the 143 entry, they were able to get it from 158 and ride it up to 192. So 35 points. It hit another breaker up here and back down, 35 points. All right, so there's that 50% of the wick, that C hold that you were looking for. So it already touched that, started to buy out of it. You got another 70. Nice. After that 100 points in the morning, being greedy was paying. Yep. Yeah, I think Legion. I think TJ put his side on mute, not me. Oh damn. Yeah. Right. All right. Let's see what this retracement was. We still have equal highs here at the midnight open, so let's not forget about that. Okay, retracement here was almost 78%, more like 75. Oops. All right, let's see if tapping into this breaker sends us right back up here. Yeah, guys, I just want to reiterate. I mean, we're all different traders here. We all see things differently. We all have different indicators or markers that give us the go ahead to enter trades. And so let's not get too caught up in being right and having everyone agree with us and all of that. In the chat, state your opinion. Say, hey, I'm looking for this. I think price is going to be bearish. Once I get to this point, I'm looking to enter, and leave it at that. If someone else is saying, oh, well, I think things are bullish, so I'm looking for a tap back into this order block, and then I'm ready to go. Just leave it at that. It's not about convincing other people to follow your trade, because really we all should be making our own trades. There are a bunch of people here as well who just are looking for education. They're still relatively new, not comfortable taking trades on their own, right? So they're going to more or less just sit back and observe, read the comments, and try to apply it and see what they can use. But yeah, let's not get into a match where we feel like if I state that it's going to do this, I need everyone to listen to me and follow me, because that's not the case. Hell, I'm the one talking on this live stream, and not everyone is trading like me or trading with me or following everything that I'm saying. So just keep that in mind as you post in the chat and state what your position is or how you feel the market is moving. What type of disclaimer are you talking about? What should I put up? Should go up, retraced. All right. Yep. Wale, what should I do? Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out, what kind of disclaimer, because I do have a disclaimer that starts out the stream at the very beginning. So that's why I was asking, like, what is it that he wants me to post? Legion, I did not get Mentor 101. I was not in ICT's private mentorship, which he had up until 2021. I only discovered him probably in October of 21, and he was finishing that mentorship up, and he mentioned that he would not have another paid mentorship and he would do a free one on YouTube. And so I joined in 2022 on the YouTube free one. Yep, it's at the very beginning. Matter of fact, I probably display it too long. I'm sure some people would say that. Yep, should go up. Trace. Yep. All right, so we had a bounce out of the fair value. I'm out of the breaker here, the unicorn actually, heading back up to the bearish breaker, which we've sold off twice. So I'm not sure how well it's going to hold up this time. I usually don't like to see setups more than, I really don't like to see them more than once, but I definitely don't like to see them more than twice, just because each future time that it comes back, you just run the risk of it failing. So this is going to be the third time returning to the breaker above if price can get up to the midnight open. Oh, okay. See, yeah, yeah. That's where I got it from too, from ICT, where he talks about consequent encroachment of the wick, because he says that wicks are the same as like a gap, like a fair value gap, and so that median value is important, especially when price wants to balance an area and then retrace. A lot of times it looks for that middle value. Take a short from 205. Okay, right here, right? It just got it. Just fair value gap. Yep, because we also, so above this, we have 2 hourly fair value gaps. So this dark area in the center is where they overlap. Yesterday, we traded all the way through, all the way to the top, but we couldn't close above it to invalidate it. And then, of course, price started to retrace. So it's not that we need to trade through this. And if we do trade through it, it may not be as resistant to price as it was yesterday. So we need to keep that in mind as well, that we have already traded through this. I'll rewind so you can see it. So this was yesterday, 10:30 in the morning until about 2 o'clock almost. We traded all the way to the top, even above it a couple times, but we just couldn't close there. And you see I got the blue box here, so we had a bearish breaker that sent price lower. In fact, let's just go ahead and pull that across just in case. But again, keep in mind, it's already been used yesterday. Invest, I'm not sure. I don't trade turtle soup. So I don't know. Whoever made, I did see someone make that comment earlier. So whoever made that comment, S&T with turtle soup. All right. It looks like the Dow has found its energy back and is now challenging the highs of last hour. Dollar is not doing anything. You know what? Let's bounce over and check that out for a moment. Maybe our last time today. So let's get back over. You can see the dollar now. We're 20 minutes in, and the candle looks like nothing's happened. And this is, I don't know why the dollar moves so slow in the afternoon, but that's what it does. All right, you can see much bigger candles and wicks and range earlier in the day. Then this is 11 o'clock. This is lunch. And then after lunch, it just drops even lower, even lower. So we'll see. But this is what I was talking about the Dow. See, the Dow has now eclipsed the high of last hour. And we still have S&P in the range. Looks like a upside down head and shoulders here. So maybe we're going to get a big jolt up, maybe attacking these highs from yesterday. And we could get the same thing in Nasdaq, but we'll see. I know ICT would probably crucify me for saying head and shoulders, but we'll see what this afternoon brings. We have about 35 minutes left of trading in this hour, plus another 10, so 45 minutes left today. And let's look at the range of the dollar and just see where it is. All right, so just above equilibrium, so we're in premium pricing right now. All right, moving over. Now we'll see how we finish out today. It's here on the 5-minute. Why is that so large? All right, let's put that on 14. There we go. Looking for lower prices. Looking for displacement candle. All right. Messiah. Hopefully get a good bullet. Well, silver bullet is between 2 and 3, so no silver bullet, but we could get something nice at the end of power hour, somewhere around 345 to 350. We could get a nice entry. J Stores. I didn't see the comment before. That's funny. Let me go down to a lower time frame and see if I notice anything. Yeah, I still don't like these equal highs here at the midnight open. These two. All right, invest. We'll see if you get that. So a sweep here puts us in the first fair value gap, which again still hasn't traded into since creating it at 11:10. We had another one that was created 5 minutes before that, still hadn't traded there either. And assuming it can make it through those two, we still got the 2 hourly ones just above. Oh, it's not that I don't like equal highs. Equal highs are just usually traded back into. They don't last long. Because not only do we have the equal highs here, the previous entry as well, because both of the entries that sent price lower we're barely tapped into the breakers. So we have these two, we have these two. So it's not that I don't like them. I'm just looking at it and saying, okay, well, price is going to trade and take those out. It's not going to leave them on the board here. So that's when you know that that's it. At least that's where it's going to trade to. And after that, I don't know where it's going to go, but I do know that it's going to take those equal highs out. That was something that ICT taught when you're looking for TP levels. If you was going to take like a silver bullet or something where you're looking for just a what he calls low-hanging fruit, you would take an entry somewhere in here and you would just be targeting taking out these equal highs. You wouldn't zoom out and say, oh, I think price can get all the way up here, because maybe it can, maybe it can't. But right here, pretty high probability. And especially if it keeps adding to it, like if it puts another one here, then maybe we'll get a touch here and then straight up. All right, everyone, if I could ask you to do me a favor, if you are enjoying the stream this afternoon, if you could hit the like button, please. No, triple C, silver bullet is between 2 and 3 o'clock. So between 2 and 3 o'clock, you look for a fair value gap, and then you look for 20-point TP. So my guess is, just looking at the 5-minute, it's probably this fair value gap with this push down at 205. But I'm not sure it gave 20 points. So did it get up to 96? It did not. So it looked like it didn't deliver, or we would have to find something on a lower time frame, which gave an entry lower down here somewhere. Let me just check the 1 minute. Nope. Yeah, I didn't have any fair value gaps here on the 1 minute. So maybe it was on the 2 or the 3. Otherwise, it would have been yeah, today's silver bullet would have just been a loss. But let me look at 2 and the 3 minute and see if I can find it there. Yeah, it looks like on the 3 minute, there was almost one. It delivered 19.75 points. It didn't give the full 20. So potentially today's silver bullet would have been a loss. All right, so we still have these equal highs. That's okay. I guess we know where we feel like price is going during the macro. Just a few minutes when we get there in about 10 minutes. If that midnight open is still there with those equal highs, that's where I'm expecting price to go. Read Globex in the Discord if any trades overnight. Hmm. And we're inching closer and closer. Still another 6 minutes before the macro comes, and then we have 20 minutes before trading closes. Maybe this is the calm before the storm here, and this little consolidation the last 25 minutes. Maybe we'll get a sweep below these, and then a movement upwards. Hmm. Wow. All right, let's give the other indices just a little bit more attention just before the macro starts, as well as the dollar, just so we know where everything is. All right, dollar still inside range of the last hour, which was inside range of the previous hour. So the last 2 hours have been just trading inside of the 1300 candle. We have the Dow. Look at it, still putting in near the high of the day, continuing to push. We do have a bullish candle here in S&P, but it has not broken out of the range. It has not overtaken the bearish fair value gap that's just above it. Remember, these fair value gaps are on the 1 hour. I also have them on the 5-minute chart from the 1 hour. So whenever you see them, you know that it's a 1 hour fair value gap. And we're having the same issue in Nasdaq, right? Price is staying down in the range it's been in all afternoon. And we have the fair value gap above that has not been traded through this afternoon. It did get traded through this morning at 10 during the 10 o'clock hour, rejected, came back at 11, rejected once again. And that's how we found ourselves in this area. So we have about 20 minutes of trading remaining. And we can see some explosive moves during this time, so don't be surprised. But let's see what we get. Okay, there are the equal highs, traded above. Let's just see how it fares in the fair value gaps here, whether they're able to hold price or whether they get invalidated immediately. It's kind of strange that it's been avoided all afternoon, so maybe it won't be that strong, but let's see. All right, 2 minutes left. 2 minutes. Let's see what it does. All right, no issue with the equal highs any longer. I hate it when it breaks it by like 1 or 2 ticks. This right here is a good break where it's satisfied enough where you can't say they're equal or relative equal or nothing. Yep, Milad, there is the 194. That's right. You did say you wanted to see 194 before it moved lower. So you got your wish. All right, let's go down to 1 minute and we'll watch the macro here. Boom, look at that. Strong candle, first, second. Still very little movement from the dollar. Dow still near the hourly high. I mean, we're also near the hourly high. We're just not, near yesterday's high, which is at 266. So if you just see price start running higher, put your eyes on 266. All right, let's check out this 1 minute candle. That's weird. This looks like a trend line here. That trade it all the way back up the last second to close above. All right. These are equal lows here. So after sweeping equal lows, let's see if it does sweep equal lows. But if it does, let's see where it goes from there. We'll then have a 5 minute fair value gap that it could trade into. Lunch low is down at 138. So that's a good 50 points away from where we are. Appreciate you, Chris. Thank you. Yeah, let's see if we can't get to 100 likes. We need 17 more. Way to go, Loot. Good job. Yeah, tomorrow we have high impact news. So tomorrow should be more more streamlined, more normal, with a decent daily range. So we should see a couple impulses. $195. Yeah, sometimes, Loot, it's better to just, have a low hanging fruit target, bag the money, put it in your pocket, and then look for the next setup. All right, let me get rid of this trend line now. All right, so we did have a tap below these relative equal lows, but we still have relative equal lows. We had 2, now we have 4. So it dipped its toe just below 325's low, and now it's pushing back towards the breaker. How many times have we traded into the breaker since it was confirmed? Once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7, 8. Roughly 10 1-minute candles have traded into this breaker. So at some point, it's not going to hold. All right, let's see if it can get out of the fair value gap here. All right, first trade above the fair value gap all afternoon. Almost a consequent encroachment of the breaker, which is at 18,203. All right, let's look at these equal lows. 181. Triple C. I think what I might want to do is just to do a trade on the unicorn setup, and in doing so, maybe I'll mention target setting, and included in there will be some low hanging fruit examples. All right, so there's a break of these equal lows. Now the equal lows are gone. We're going to tap back into the fair value gap the first time since it's been created as well. All right, everyone, it's 4 o'clock. 10 minutes. If you're on a prop account, you got 10 minutes remaining. All right, we can get rid of this trend line as well. Looks like it's now been broken. Yeah, and just to clear some things up on the trend line, whenever you see me draw a trend line, I'm not using it as an entry model or anything like that. I'm just using it as an indicator for me to say, hey, I just noticed a pattern. And so then I can go and start doing something else, and I won't forget that it has this pattern. And so then I want to be notified when that pattern is broken. And so the trend line helps me with that, but it's not that I use that for an entry model. Got equal lows once again. Also, when this high right here was broken by this price leg, it was this down close candle that propelled price higher. And we haven't traded back down to this candle. So don't be surprised if that's where we go, which we just did. Put a wick down, covering up part of this candle. It looks like all the other price points down here have been traded to already. So we also had this one, this down close candle, saw these two up close candles push higher than over here. Oops. And as soon as these two candles close, immediately after, it traded back down into this range, balancing it. When it moved up here above this down close candle, you see it never came back down to touch this area. So even though it was trading higher, when it's coming back down, you can start to see where it might land and where you can find a safe exit to get out. So if you're looking for low-hanging fruit, that's one way to look for it. You can find it in there. You can find it on, like I say, equal highs, equal lows. You can find it in opposite fair value gaps. So if we're pushing down and you find a bullish fair value gap here that hasn't been traded to, like here, you can get your exit there. But I mean, this is inside of a breaker, so you definitely probably want to be looking for an exit, because this is where price reversed the last time. So there's a lot of different methods when you're looking for low-hanging fruit. But really what it boils down to is you're just getting comfortable with small wins and not thinking that every win needs to be catching a low of a full price leg and then getting out at the top. So the macro is every hour. It's just the last 10 minutes and then the first 10 minutes of the following hour. So it's a 20-minute period. And those are the macros that we look at here on this channel. There's one additional one that's a little bit different, and that's at 3 o'clock. It's from 3:15 to 3:45. And the way ICT explained that is that macro pushes price to the midnight open between 3:15 and 3:45. And today we can see the midnight open was here, and we pushed up to it at 3:33, and then once again at 3:47. Now we did touch it at 2:30 as well, but between 3:15 and 3:45, he says that it's going to push towards it. If it's really far away, it's probably not going to reach, but it'll push in that direction. Oh, thanks, Luke. Appreciate it. I didn't realize you had already answered. Yep. Yep. Legion, just check in every day. I'm still picking up things from some of the other subscribers as well. That's what I love about doing this, is that I get a chance to hang out with other traders on a regular basis every day. They're telling me what they see. I tell them what I see. They're telling me the wins that they're making, and I'm not even in the trade. I'm still watching price action, and it's just, it's a good environment. I love it here. And that's another reason why I made the comment earlier, is that, you know, let's keep the environment fun. Let's keep it educational. But no one should be in here looking for a pat on the back. If you need a pat on the back, you can get it elsewhere. Now, if you contribute to the room and you're always answering questions and you're always being a good participant, then you're going to get pats on the back. People are going to congratulate you, because we get used to the same people being here and being involved with the chat, which is why I also encourage everyone, when you join, come in, say hello, say good morning, say good afternoon, ask a question if you have one. Tell us what you see. We'll tell you what we see. And we can make this interactive, where everyone's leaving with knowledge gained or experience or something. Some people, they trade their own setup. They don't care what goes in the chat. They just want to have someone to trade with. And so they come here just to have other people to talk to, but they're not really looking for setups, and they're not looking for your advice. All right, everyone, you're down to your final minute. If you're on a prop firm account, if you have private money in your own broker account, then of course, you know, you can do your own thing as long as you want. All right, we still, yeah, we traded out of it, but we didn't close below. But we also had right here, we have the wick. We didn't trade to consequent encroachment there, which looks like it's about right here. And that's what we push through here. All right. Any final questions or comments today? Anything else? And if you got to go and you're leaving, make sure you hit the like button on your way out and subscribe if you haven't already. Hope to see you all again. Any final questions or comments? All right, Richard. Catch you next time. All right, Wale. I'll see you. I'll catch you in the morning. Yep, yeah, definitely, Tom. Glad to have you in the room as well. Hope to see you. Hope to see you again. All right, 6 more likes to 100. Can we get there? I'll leave that to you guys to see if we can get there. All right, all. I think that does it for our session today. I didn't see any more questions. So what we'll do is we'll break here. Hope you all have a good evening. We'll catch you tomorrow morning, 9:15. Take care. See you then.